Hello and welcome back to Vintage Story. So we are coming close to the following, I think the last day, or the monsters will appear. So we have just a short amount of time to organise ourselves for the last few pieces. One of the big issues we have at the moment is storage. So I'm going to try to fix that problem. Which may require, yes, it's going to require some more gathering of reeds. I will try to do this through the night so that we have a little extra time. We are safer at the moment at night time than we normally would be. And then I will bring you back and we will continue trying to refine this area a little bit, make it a bit more efficient, a bit more space, a bit more storage, and we will complete a few other tasks that we're going to need for the days ahead. So off I go. I'll bring you right back. Okay, so I have collected some baskets, and one of the biggest problems that we're having right now is space and storage. So what we're going to do, I'm going to create a small workshop over in this area nearer to our fire pit or our clay, and then we have a little bit of extra space where we can craft the tools that we need and that kind of thing without it imposing on our sleeping area and our cooking area over here. Okay, so we're going to place our forge down here, and we will have another one, I think, on this side. And then we'll place a regular fireplace on here. There we go, and we will remove the wood from that one now. And we can place our little crucible on there so that we have the ability to melt various metals. And then, as I say, we should make another one of these forges. And on top of that, we will now place our little anvil down, which I think probably in the corner over here. That's a pretty good location. Give us some space again to be able to work with. Get rid of the grass. I should actually put down the packed dirt so that we don't have grass growing in the house, but for now I'll keep that simple. And we also need some storage as well, so I think we will have a couple of storage pots over here, maybe one in the corner. We also need a tool rack so we can get easy access to our tools. I guess probably in the door is good for that. So we will place down our tongs, and now we need to get some of the other tools and bring them over. I can place the coal in here for our next outing. And actually I think I will also place some inside the forge so we're ready to go. Whatever is required there. And so the next thing we need to do is check on our plants, and we can see here that the moisture levels has dropped now, so we're not doing very well for growth. So we'll grab our watering can, head to the lake and grab some water. And then give them a good watering. And now you can see quite clearly that moisture level is increasing. And unlike many farming games, it's not just a case of a one quick splash and it does the watering. You have to keep watering until you get that desired level back up again. There we go, a little bit low on that one, very low on that one. We will sort of system out where we have water coming from here, and it should maintain a decent level of moisture for all of the plants. It's very important to keep an eye on this. while we were out wandering through the wilderness fairly close to our house, which is just in that direction over there, we found a ruin earlier, which was placed onto the map. You can see here it's marked up. It's actually quite a large ruin, and here are some of the parts for it. And one of the nice things about this particular ruin, as I've been wandering up here having a look, is that it contains what appears to be an area of importance, a find. So I'm going to try and get into here safely so that we can have a look and see if there are any nice pieces of loot in here for us to collect. Some of the parts that we might require to be able to craft chests and things like that. And here is one of the vessels that I was talking about. And then here we have some rusty gears, which are a form of currency in the game. And we should be able to pick this up. Yes, and now we can utilize that for our own storage, which is great. And so here we have another one of the vessels, and you can see it's slightly different from the previous one, not decorated, but when we open it up, it should actually contain some seeds or something like that. We break it open and we've got ourselves a bundle of grain. Take some more of these piles of dirt with the bones in them, which are very useful. We can sift through that. And then I think we will come back to these ruins a little later and continue with our search for goodies. And so we're back home now, and I have stored some of the items that we've been picking out of the ruins. And we can come back to that later to utilize those when we're building. We will take the planks out of there for now, and then this storage vessel now should be possible to use this. There we go. And we have a lot more storage in this vessel now, which is excellent. And we can maybe put some of our food in there as well. I believe it does actually maintain a slightly better quality storage for any kind of food stuff. And so, as you see, monsters begin to appear. Now, this is not the end of the world for us. It's very manageable. But we do need to be mindful now when we're wandering out in the wilds that we don't bump into things that are going to want to hurt us. You can usually hear them. They growl and groan. You also don't want to get caught down in any deep holes in the night time because they tend to spawn on top of you, and that can actually overwhelm you. So from here on out, we'll be a little bit more cautious, but we will continue to expand. And we will try to improve our homestead, our farming. We must find some more seeds, and we also need to create some additional tools that will allow us to grind flour, for example, make bread, that kind of thing. Also, in this area, we have some wandering wildlife. A while back, there were some pigs that were running around here, and the important thing with the pigs is that if we can pen them in, we can then reserve them for use when we are ready. There we go, we've got some parsnips here, which is great. I'm not sure if we have parsnips yet, but we do now. We have one seed, which is good. And they usually grow in patches, but it would seem on this particular occasion we only got a couple. And only one of them gave the parsnips, which is a shame. But it all adds up. As you progress further out, as you explore more, you will find little patches with one or two. Here we go, here's a good example of what I'm talking about. So, a little bit more exploring, and we actually get some parsnips here, I believe. Yes. Good. So we're going to throw away some of the things we don't need here. I think grass seeds is probably good to go. And red currants versus cranberries. Well, we'll get rid of the cranberries. I'm doing this a little bit wrong, but it's fine. I want the seeds for these, primarily. I think that's the last one. Oh no, we have another one down here. That was a good little haul. Okay, so we have picked the seeds up from that, that's good. And so I'm now going to just run around and see what else I can find to bring back to camp. Along with the berries that we've been finding. Here we go, we have some more flax, this is very important. And some more copper, so I'll mark up some things and I will continue. And so I've now returned home and I've been quite successful in finding various berry bushes, which we will just continue to plant around the house randomly. We don't really care at this stage how tidy they are, as long as they bear fruit for us. Very important so that we can maintain our food supplies. And it adds a little bit of colour and depth to the surroundings for us as well. And we were also quite successful with berries and some grain and some vegetables as well. So the next time we do any cooking, we will be able to have a small mix-up of various fruits, vegetables, grains, and we can make porridge, that sort of thing as well. We also have some more seeds, parsnip, spelt, etc. We will expand, definitely, on our little garden out here. But for now, we're just going to use what we have. Now, another thing we can do is we can make a trough that we can feed the animals. This is what I was talking about previously, where you can attract animals. There are two types of troughs. There are small ones and there are large ones. I can't remember specifically how the small one was made. I think I may have to look into that. Let's have a look at the help again. Small trough. Ah, it's a V-shape. Okay, that's great. It's super easy. Now the small trough, in a similar way with the large creatures, this will simply attract chickens and little rabbits and things like that into your area to eat from. So again, these will have, I believe the small trough is just a grain item, whereas the larger trough will be usable with grass that you can cut and then simply place the grass into the trough. I think I'll pop this one down here because inside our property it's going to be more useful. And then what we'll do, we will take a trough out here. We know that there were some pigs running around in the top here. So if I just simply place one in a fairly easy to find location, and then we will gather some grass. This is where obviously it's a lot better to have the scythe. I have 3 portions in there now from what we gathered up. So I believe it's maybe 6. Let's try that. Here we go, we've got 7 portions. I believe the maximum is 8, so if I can get 2 more. Now, we have some more tin here. This is very good, so let's mark this. This is a very important material, as we know. And I guess we will just stick with the blue. Visible enough for us. Now I'm going to collect this straight away, and I will dig a hole. Because we really need to start gathering some more ore soon. We still have a lot to do. But for now, we're just going to make some packed dirt here, which we'll utilise, give ourselves a way to get out. We're just going to break into this a little bit, go down, and there you go. Straight away, we are set and ready. So that's a fair amount there, I would say. I'm going to actually see if I can't grab some of this stuff straight away, because we do need this. And so we have nighttime closing in on us now as we are out gathering near to the home. And as the sun sets and the darkness comes in, we should start to see some activity. Hopefully nothing too close to home. So we will return to our base and make sure all of our doors are shut in the relevant locations. Yes, they are. Now we're likely to get something coming in here. What we can do to try to avoid that is if we place another location for a lamp. Let's say here. And that should light up that area a little bit for us. Don't need to worry too much about that. And I think we should be okay here now with the small amount of light that we have. Probably not so necessary to put one up on here either. It should be good. Now another item I would like to try to make if possible. We have some granite rock here, more of these stones. We have some more clay. What I would like to make, if I can find some more stones. Where did I put those? In here, granite rocks, here we go. I believe we can make ourselves a quern, is it? Yeah. So a granite quern. Just some sticks and some stones. So, like so. Now the benefit of a quern is that we can actually tie this into a windmill later on, once we can unlock the sails with enough cloth. And that will allow us to automatically grind down flour and things like that. Because it is mainly a cooking ingredient we're going to be using this for, we're going to place it in here. Now this is where we would place any kind of grain that we want to break down into a flour. So if I take this one, which isn't really much used for cooking, and let's see, can I place it inside here? It seemed not, actually. And you can see here it says for grinding grains. Oh, here we go. I just had to get a lot closer. So I place that in here. And then if I just right click, and you can see here, it will slowly grind. And I then open that up, the bottom, we now have flour. And that flour can then be taken and turned into bread, things like that. We are now going to make some fencing to put around the house. We also want a bucket, and if possible, a barrel as well, so that we can store water. And then, as I was explaining with the vegetable patch, we can then utilize our own watering at source for the vegetables and crops. So we'll head back here now. And then if we take the saw, which we have now stored in our workshop, here we go. And then we will take the logs and convert them into planks. And we want plenty of planks. We can place that back. And now for a bucket, I believe we need some twine, black twine, which I think is, yes, one of these, and then just some regular logs. Yes, wooden bucket. Okay, this is great. And then the next one we want is a barrel. But I think that may have changed, so let's have a quick look and see. Here we go. Barrel. Oh, I see. Okay. 3 planks down, 4 sticks in the corner. That's right. This is also very useful later on for the tannins for gathering leather and stuff like that. So we will make 3 of these, I think, for now. Oops, wrong one. There we go. With our bucket we can gather the water and then we can place however much we wish to use. We start off with the oak, we use a light tannin, and then we use a heavy tannin after that. And I will show you a little bit more about that later, but for now we're going to fill this bucket up. We're going to take this over to our vegetable garden, and then we can hopefully empty this in. Oops. There we go. And now this will spread into this area. This is similar to Minecraft in the way it works. And it should now maintain some level of moisture for all of the plants in this particular area, which means we don't have to keep coming back and watering it. Another thing that's very useful is in the kitchen to have water. And so here we have 50 litres of water ready for us, which is excellent. And for now we can pop our bucket down next to it, so when we need that in the future we know where to come to grab that. We will have a little bite to eat. And here is the oak logs that we're going to need to make the tannins, so we will go and do that right now. We will pick up our bucket. And then we will look into tannins. So we start with the weak tannin. And so for this one, we require 10 litres of water to 1 log. So if we wanted to make a full barrel, then we would just have 5 logs and 50 litres of water. And we have exactly 5 logs here. So should be able to place this in here, I think. There we go. Now we open it up, place those in there, and then now we have enough to make a week tannin after 24 hours of sealing. So we seal this up. And then for the strong one, if we go back to the help file, and I believe the strong tannin is using weak tannin that you then add logs to. And this will then allow us to begin the process for making leather, which is a very important one for armor and some good quality baskets to carry around, or backpacks to carry around. So we're going to leave that one empty because we're going to want to, well, in fact, actually what we can do, we can prepare up this one for the next light tannin, and then we can simply add some more logs. So if I take some grain here and I take some berries, I'll take 2 different types of berries here when we go to the cooker. Now I should be able to make 6, oh, my mistake, sorry. Goes up there, right, so 6 of the porridge, and then I believe, oh here we go, yeah, so we have, the porridge starts with 6 of each ingredient, and then I can mix it, and as you can see here, we have 6 servings of flax porridge with mashed blackcurrants and cranberries. So now we can just grab some peat, place that onto the fireplace, and we'll light our fire. And then shortly we will have some more food. And here we have our first golems as you see them. Now we can march out there and we can attack them. And they will drop certain items, which can be useful, flax being one of them, which is quite good. But as I've also explained, it can get a little overwhelming. They can all come running over and then you end up getting a little hurt, trying to get away and then very hurt. So I think we will wait for a moment to see what the activity is like. They can throw things at you as well from a distance. Rocks usually, or clay I think it is. And that will hurt you from a distance, which is why we wanted the wall, so they can't really throw through the wall. Oh, and here's we've got one in our house, so we'll deal with this one. And this is a surface drifter. We'll open him up, and he doesn't have anything on him. And so it's the next morning. We still have some rain going on out here. But today we're going to be looking towards trying to find some bees. Or organising the bees, I should say. Or creating honey and wax. So the first thing we need to do is to create a skep. Now if we go to the help system here, we can see if we use an empty skep here, we just need some clay and then some reeds. Or papyrus. So hopefully we have enough reeds to do this. Yes we do, okay. So we can make one of those, possibly another one. No, we need a few more. So now what we do is we take this skep over to where we'd found the bees previously. And then we can leave it there to become populated, and that will allow us to bring it back home. But first we need to prepare some fencing to protect the beehive that we are going to be creating, or the populated skep. So we're going to need some fencing and a gate to get in. So if we begin by adding some sticks, and here we go. We've now got wooden fencing, plenty of it. And we also need a gate, which is basically the opposite. And we just need, we'll get a couple of those I guess, can't hurt. And so now if we remember over on the map we'd found down by the waterline some bees. So we now need to head over there, and we're going to be taking with us various flowers, so this is going to encourage the bees. And so here we are coming up on our beehive that we'd found previously. Very hard to hear them. But they are just there, I think. It's very hard to hear them in this weather. There they are, yeah, so we can see the beehive is here. We mustn't pull that off. If we do, we are going to destroy our ability to gather any bees from that. So what we're going to do is we're going to cordon off this area so that we can place some flowers, etc. down. And so now the general task is to just scatter various flowers around everywhere. And this will get the bees all happy and wanting to come and inhabit your skep. So my understanding is that there needs to be a fair amount of these things around for them to be happy enough to start doing their thing. Hopefully we have enough here. In fact, we could continue adding some more. I think we have some flowers over here we can take. Yep, a few more here. Which I think we even have some of those inside our inventory as well. Oh, and we also have some tin here which we will mark up because that's pretty important. Okay, and back we go. So a few more flowers. I know it seems like a lot, but it is important. There we go, plenty of flowers everywhere. And we're going to want to repeat the same process back at home. I think we may need to... Oh, there's already one, right. There we go. I think that's enough for now. So we still have our beehive there, which is great. So the next thing we want to do is within a certain range of that, we want to place our skep. So we're going to take our empty skep. And I think, because of how close this is, we will place it, I guess, here. And that should now, hopefully in a while, become populated. It's going to take a while. It's not going to be something that happens immediately. We have to come back. It's probably several days. But it's nicely protected in here as long as we keep the gate closed. Another flower in there. Some more outside here. Oh, there we go. So we will come back in a while, a few days, and hopefully we will see some bees inside our skep. We're also going to require some quartz, and so if we come over to this cliff edge, we can see we have a quartz vein running through the cliff. So we need to carve away at this quartz until we can find some, not the quartz chunks, but it's the clear quartz that we require. So we'll just keep going at this, and then every now and again, hopefully a piece of clear quartz will drop. And so after 24 hours we can see here that we now have some light tannin to choose from. And I believe we want to keep one light and we want the second one to be heavy tannin. So we will open this up, or strong tannin I should say. And we will add 5 more oak and seal that one. I think this is the perfect opportunity to end the episode here. So thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, bye bye.